US 99.5's Weekend Journal.
Good morning. It's US 99.5. This is Weekend Journal. I'm Laura Taylor. Approaching 2016. I can't believe that it's just around the corner. But on the show today, Dr. Tracey Wilen. Her book is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. We love when she's on the show because she always finds us some really interesting job opportunities that maybe we might have overlooked. And she has spotted some really fascinating career trends for the year 2016. And she's going to share all those with us. And friends and family, join the battle. Visit cycleforsurvival.org.
Hi, Laura. This is Tracey Wilen. How are you?
Tracey, I'm well. How are you doing?
Very good.
I can't believe that we are already approaching the new year, and you're back on the show to tell us all about your career trends that you're noticing already for 2016. It's US 99.5 chatting today with Dr. Tracey Wilen. She's been on the show before. She's the author of the book called Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends, and you can find her online at TraceyWilen.com. And like I said, 2015, goodbye. Hello, 2016. You're noticing quite a few trends for potential employment in the new year, starting with senior sensation. What do you mean by that, Tracey?
Well, you know, Laura, aging is big business. Globally, it's a $7.1 trillion business, which says to me there's jobs available. 1 in 3 Americans today are now 50 or older. So we are at a tipping point in our population, and this means that we have a lot of job opportunities.
Yeah, tell me about some of these opportunities that you're noticing as we see this aging population, on the rise.
Sure. So, first off, we now actually segment the population, if you can imagine. The young old is age 65 to 74, the old is 74 to 84, and our oldest old is 85 plus, which, by the way, is the fastest growing segment in the United States.
Oh, wow.
So each segment has needs, and from these needs, jobs are created. So, for example, let's just look at living spaces. Everybody needs to live somewhere. Well, our senior sensation, I call them, is really redefining how they're going to live their retirement years. Some will go to adult communities. You might have heard of the 50 plus, the 60 plus. Some of them are focused on golf or tennis or wine. Others prefer to really retire and age at home, which means a lot of services need to be brought into the home, from landscaping to cleaning to food to home help. And then others will go on to what we call the senior assisted living retirement communities that will require medical support and health care support and full-time support. So just where we live has been redefined as we get older.
You're right. Yeah, just in the space that we live alone. And people don't think in those terms that can create jobs. Tell me some other services that'll provide jobs caused by people aging.
Sure. So, our aging community, and this is really the baby boomers, they're redefining retirement, and they like to keep well. So not only will we see more personal trainers, right? In fact, I just met a gentleman who redefined his personal training practice to Parkinson's disease, posture, and aging, because he sees that this population has a lot of demand. We'll also see physical therapists in demand, occupational therapists, registered nurses, personal home care, and aides, and caregivers. So, as we age, wellness, fitness, and home health care are all new areas of demand that didn't exist before.
Right. It sounds so promising. And also, seniors are so much more active nowadays as well. People are living longer and they're living healthier. Talk to me about some services that might create some jobs.
Sure. So, another thing that happens when we retire is we're not working anymore. So we have time on our hands, and this in itself can create jobs. In fact, seniors, according to the AARP, which is the American Association of Retired Persons, are traveling, and they expect that travel will grow over 36% over the next 10 years, attributed to by the increased travel of our retirees. In fact, they note that 8 million more retirees will travel domestically and 4 million overseas, and they spend more. So here, this opens up the door for hospitality, transportation. Let's face it, they're taking cruises, they're flying, they're taking buses, they're taking trains, hotels, restaurant, and tourism. So all of this creates job opportunities. And I also remind people that whenever you have such a big trend like this, also look at your current jobs and what you're doing, and can you redefine yourself in this new horizontal? So, for example, if you're a real estate agent, maybe you want to specialize in real estate for retirees. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're a financial planner, and here's the time for you to redefine yourself as a financial planner for retirees. So think about what you're currently doing and how that could also translate into a future job opportunity.
Well, traveling sounds like an absolute blast, but also this one's kind of fun, Tracey. You notice that pet ownership is on the rise among our seniors, right?
Yes. Well, actually, the millennials are one of the generations that buys a lot of pets or has a lot of pets, not buys. We rescue them as millennials. But our baby boomers is the next segment that is driving pet ownership. Empty nest, no more, right? Why not have a loving companion? And this creates jobs because you're going to need increases in pet retail stores, vets, medical care, grooming,
dog
housing, walkers, right? You name it, right?
Things.
This is the opportunity.
That is so fascinating. We're talking with Dr. Tracey Wilen today about the career trends of 2016. We just covered the senior sensation. It's not just healthcare, like she mentioned. It's all kinds of things. But what about security? There's another area where there's quite a few job opportunities, right?
Yeah, so I say, sadly, the security is a safe bet. You look at the news and every single day, there is a security issue noted. And when you see that, you know that this is a trend that is not going away. And also behind that trend is job creation. So the big three areas that I watch is terrorism, and we need counterterrorism, physical security and protection, and then cybersecurity, which is all about protecting your networks and your personal identification. You know, just after these attacks that we had, cities are creating counterterrorism squads. New York was the first one. At the end of November in 2015, New York put together a 100-person counterterrorism squad with plans to grow it to over 500 people in 2016. This is the first city. You know there will be many more. And it isn't just police. It's people who can do bomb detection, nuclear experts, chemical weapons, forensic data, undercover agents, physical security, event security, right? So it's really spanning out, and if you have experience or expertise in this area, you can see where the jobs are going.
Yeah, and even on a smaller scale, too, security, things like just a security guard at the many, buildings downtown. I work in the Prudential Plaza, and, I mean, there are security guys here 24/7 around the clock. Every holiday. I mean, there's job security in that as well.
Yes, and I happen to notice, unfortunately, I arrived in the airport in LAX at the same time as the terrorism attack.
Oh, my God.
And in San Bernardino, and there was triple layers of security all throughout the airport.
Oh, I bet.
And so you know that people are hiring people, whether it's private or public sector, because people are nervous at events and airports and transportation vehicles.
Right. And you mentioned cybersecurity, too. I think I can only imagine that's going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger as everything is moving online, Tracey.
Cybersecurity is expected to be a $170 billion business by 2020. It's outgrowing other job market by 12 times. We need people who are ethical hackers. We need people who can help us protect our identity. We need people who can help us protect data and also our networks. And so this is not going away. I think the Sony attack last year put it on the map. People started to take it very seriously, and now I have numbers of firms coming out to me saying we need security people. This is a big area, Tracey, and they should pay attention.
It's US 99.5. We're talking with Dr. Tracey Wilen. Today you can find her online at TraceyWilen.com. It's TraceyWilen.com. Talking about the hiring trends and predictions for the year 2016. Technology is something that we always chat about when you're on the show, Tracey. Tell me about some of the growth areas you're noticing for technology in 2016.
Sure. So there's three that I'm looking at. One is there's a lot of investment into artificial intelligence. Siri gets smart and toys talk back. That was a big theme this year that, artificial intelligence, our machines will get smarter and smarter. Not only will they be able to do things like toys talking back, but they'll actually be able to learn. And so I think we see a lot of opportunity in artificial intelligence, not only on the software side, but also for consulting, marketing, financial. The second area is immersive technologies. This is augmented virtual reality and virtual reality. If you think about Oculus Now and how Facebook's bought that for gaming, But gaming is getting even bigger. I mean, there's esports is a new segment. You know, you can actually go and watch people play immersive games. There's people making a lot of money on websites called Twitch and also on YouTube. It's almost like watching a cooking show, but you have individuals now who can play games that you can watch, and now we have teams that play each other. This opens up the door, just like sports as a segmented, for a whole variety of jobs and investment. And you know, whether you're on the marketing side, on the analyst side, the sales side, on the content side, on the developer side, this is going to be big business. And the third one is drones. You know, automation, the autonomous cars, autonomous vehicles, and drones. And drones is a big deal. As you may have seen in the news, Amazon has been really pushing the FAA to give us guidelines because Amazon would like to push the edge and use the drones to deliver packages in 10 minutes or less. Now, drones are not just about delivering packages. Drones are about surveillance, about disaster recovery. They've become cheaper. They have cameras. There's a lot of areas that people can find jobs, both on the technical side, but also we need pilots. We need people who can operate these drones and teach others how to use these unique forms of robotics.
Oh my gosh, I feel like the world of the drone, I mean, we've just begun to scratch the surface. It really feels like we've arrived in the future because, you know, all these things that you're mentioning, they can do so much. There's so much potential for that. So that'll be really fascinating to see as the years unfold, you know, how many different job opportunities there will be in the drone field.
Yes, and I'm excited because these are categories that did not exist before. And as they become, really, I encourage people to listen and watch the news. This is where you first hear about it. And once you start to see it repeated, then you know this is a trend and there's always going to be jobs behind it.
We're talking with Dr. Tracey Wilen today on US 99.5 about the hiring trends for 2016. We just covered a whole bunch of technological opportunities that are out there, but there's still a need for skilled workers and blue-collar workers. Tell me about some of those opportunities, Tracey.
Sure. When you think about it, infrastructure does not go away. It will continue to increase. And by 2017, there'll be an estimated 2.5 million new middle-skilled jobs expected to be added to the workforce. That's about 40% of all job growth. Now, there's two areas, right? There's the consumer area. And just think about how hard it is to get a plumber, a carpenter, electrician, you know, air conditioning and repair. So these skills are in demand. They don't go away, and so there's opportunities there.
Right.
But on a larger scale, as Forbes noticed, some of the highest paid jobs, which are $50K plus a year or over $25 an hour, is exactly that, in the infrastructure. Electricity, refineries, subways, commercial divers, oil and gas, you know, aircraft mechanics, train tracks, repairmen. You know, these are very necessary jobs that do not go away in a digital world. They just get more in demand and, you know, as some call it, the gray collar world. So I think if you don't have a college degree and you have a skill, look for these opportunities because some of these are really fantastic. I was just talking to some trucking companies, Walmart, Schneider Trucking, and even Amazon's going to have their own trucking fleet. The shortage of drivers that we have is incredible. 48,000 at the end of 2015, expected to be 175,000 short by 2024.
Oh, wow. And now you have this term in here that I want you to describe for our listeners, the blue-collar millionaire. What do you mean by that?
Blue-collar millionaire is a TV show that a blue-collar millionaire colleague of mine turned me on to. He knew that I like to watch Shark Tank because I'm very pro-entrepreneur.
Love that show.
Taking ideas. And his aspiration was to be a blue-collar millionaire, and he saw this TV show, and it's about people who are making millions by developing blue-collar businesses. So it's taking that skill as a plumber, as a landscaper, maybe you're in sanitation, maybe you're in roofing, he himself is in trucking, and turning it into millions. So his point was, like the TV show, if you have a blue-collar skill, you are not limited to working for others. Work for yourself, put together your business savvy, and you too can become a blue-collar millionaire.
Well, that's perfect. And I know a lot of people would love to be their own boss, and they would love to start up their own business and kind of do the entrepreneurial grassroots thing. Talk to me about some of those opportunities for 2016 for those people that want to be their own boss.
Yes, and I think our millennial generation is certainly driving this. Many millennials have commented to me that they do not want to be on the corporate treadmill. They want to redefine their lives, their work-life balance, and their business. And I think a lot of people don't realize that over 50% of the jobs in the U.S. are small businesses. We call them micro businesses or micropreneurs. People, one person, having a living by doing something. And a lot of this is more accessible today because of the digital world. The internet has allowed us to have these marketplaces like Etsy or Zazzle or eBay where we can actually start businesses. Crowdfunding has allowed us to be able to have access to more capital, other than friends and family and venture capitalists. So today, the whole digital economy is allowing us to be these micropreneurs, and I think that's really exciting. In fact, they say that by the end of this year, next year, 30% of the workforce will be working for themselves. So this is a reality, not a one-off.
And, in the past, it seems like franchising has kind of been overlooked. But, Tracey, you're saying that that's kind of a growing area, right?
Franchise is growing. If you're a person like me who doesn't have an idea on a business to start or to create, you can get into a business that's already operating through franchising. And franchising is there is an initial investment. I looked for the lowest cost investment, and it was cruise planners, which is interesting because we just talked about how our retirees are traveling more. So cruise planners at the low end is a $2,000 investment, and of course at the high end is McDonald's. The most popular, by the way, right now are home health care services, visiting angel, home watch, and also cleaning services. So again, I think our retiring population is driving franchising as well. And what you do is you invest in it, but a lot of the operations has already been sorted out. It's up to you to run the business, but you also have that marketing and operational support. So if you don't have an idea for a new business, think about franchising.
Well, lots of very fascinating opportunities here in the new year. Dr. Tracey Wilen, we love chatting with you. Where can people keep up with you online? Because I know you're constantly on the lookout for all this stuff. Where can they find you?
Yes, and thank you. So my website is TraceyWilen.com, which is TraceyWilen.com. My Twitter is @Tracey Wilen. I am on LinkedIn, and on Facebook is Dr. Tracey Wilen.
And the book is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends, Dr. Tracey Wilen. Thank you so much for coming on the show again.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you.
You too.
This is US 99.5. It's Weekend Journal. I'm Laura Taylor. Coming up next, Gigi Dixon of Wells Fargo will share the survey results indicating that millennials are the most optimistic about their finances. Stick around. That's coming up next.
I believe in